This is your man Mike Bowens coming to you once again live and direct. I'm about to drop some bombs on your head. Boom, 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 boom. Listen, I got a bomb to drop on you. This message is entitled Be on Fire for God. Be on fire for God. That's right. Listen, the other day I always talk to people about Jesus. I go, different places. I talk to them, and I have to be honest. About 2 weeks ago, after I was talking to like 3 different people for 3 hours each, I wasn't tired physically, but I was tired mentally at that point in time. And I said, Lord, I'm just, talking to people about you. Sometimes it's difficult because they don't want to hear it. They're going to tell you, scientifical, or they're going to tell you, the things that you saw, it was your mind playing tricks on you, like they seen what I seen, like they heard what I heard. And listen, I understand. Some people, they got to get it how they get it, see it how they see it, feel it how they feel it. But when I went to lay down, I felt like the Spirit was saying to me, I know how to get people to listen to me. Your job is to continue to share the word. And your job is to continue to stay on fire for me. Don't allow someone else's unbelief to put your fire out. That's a bomb going off. Boom! Don't allow someone else to put your fire out. Some people are not going to believe. That's just what it is. But there's some people who do believe. But I got to continue to stir it up in myself. Stir myself in the most holy of faith. Stir myself up in the things of God. Stir myself up in the visions that God has given me. Stir myself up in prayer and fasting. Stir myself up, right, in confessing the word and believing the word, right? Stir myself up, right, in these businesses that God has put in me to start and to operate, right, in all the earth, right? Because just because there's people around you who are negative don't mean you got to be negative. Just because there's people walking around in fear don't mean you have to walk around in fear. This is the basis of the message, what the Lord was telling me. Is that just because the world is going through what they're going through don't mean you have to go through it. It's all a choice, right? And so there's going to be people around you who choose to be in panic mode, who's going to choose to be in fear, who's going to choose, right? And there's some people who's going to say, take this situation and make the best of it. Take this situation and make the best of it, right? Because now you have to be home for most people. So what are you going to do with your time? What are you going to do with your time? You're just going to watch Netflix all day long? Are you just going to watch movies all day long? Are you just going to watch the news all day long? What are you going to do with your time? Right? Are you going to take some of that time out, right? And lay out before God? Put some worship music on? And get reacquainted with him, invite him into your circumstances, tell him how you feel, tell him what you're going through, and cry out to him, because that's what he's looking for. I'm telling you right now, nothing just happens. Nothing is just an accident. That's a bomb on your head. Boom! Nothing just happens. Things happen because there's a greater plan, there's a greater purpose in the midst of it. So what the enemy meant for evil, right? God would turn it around for our good, right? God will lift us standard up against the enemy. But it's going to take us being on fire for God. It's going to take us praying. It's going to take us cursing this thing at the root. It's going to take us being in unity, right? That's what it's going to take. So what are you going to do with your time is the question. Are you just going to complain to people about Donald Trump? Are you just going to complain to people about what happened at your job? Are you just going to complain, or are you going to say, you know what? I do have something I can do, right? I can seek God like I never did before. I just don't have to lay on my couch and cry and be sad. I don't have to pick up the bottle and try to self-medicate myself with drugs that's killing my liver, right? And parts of my memory and parts of my body. I don't have to smoke, right? Just to take off the stress, right? Because Jesus is the Prince of Peace. He can give you peace that surpasses all understanding. So I don't need to do those things. You don't need to be walking around beating the cat, beating the kids, beating the wife. You're made for more than that. And so now it's the time to take your energy, right? And reposition it and say, dang, what am I going to do with my time? Let me catch on fire for God, that even when this situation is over, because this too shall pass, that I'll never be the same. I'll be a walking, talking Bible, right? Because I'm taking that time out to study the word. I'll be so close with the Lord that when the next thing comes up, because this is not going to be it, there's going to be something else after this, that I'll be ready spiritually, emotionally. I'm not putting my hope in money. I'm not putting my hope in people. I'm not putting my hope in things. I'm putting my hope in Jesus. And by me doing so, right, you'll be building yourself up. So when the next calamity strikes, when the next thing hits, right, now you're like, okay, I've been through this before. I know what I got to do. I know who I got to call on. I know that he walks with me. He talks with me. He tells me that I'm his very own. See, it's something about when you go to the gym and you work out or you do a lot of walking, it's something called muscle memory. As soon as you start to do it, even if you have not done it in a while, your memory automatically remembers what it is that you did in your body. And by doing so, the muscles will begin to act accordingly. So what I want to say is you need spiritual memory. You need to have some things that you are going through or have went through that you've seen God deliver you out of. And because of that, when the next circumstance comes up, you'll think back and say, whoa, okay, that spiritual memory will kick in. I remember that. I didn't have food there and God made a way for me to have food. Or I remember when my finances were messed up. I didn't have any money. God made a way for me to have money to pay my bills. Or when I lost my job here and God made a way for me to get employment, or he took care of me during that time. Or I remember when the doctor gave me a bad report, right? And I didn't know what I was going to do. I cried out to the Lord and he healed my body. You need these type of experiences to build yourself up, that you will be unstoppable. You'll be the type of person that says, come what may, right? Come hell or high water, I'm still going to trust in Jesus. I'm still going to keep running this race. I'm not going to fear. I'm not going to panic. I'm not going to be in doubt, right? Because there's no weapon that is formed. I'm going to say that again. There's no weapon that is formed, right, against me that shall prosper. And since we're speaking of being no weapon, this virus was formed in the laboratory. You do know that. People sat down and thought of this up, right, from the demonic realm, thought of this up and put it out there to try to kill off a mass amount of people, right? But when you are covered by the blood, just like in the Old Testament, when the plague was coming across Egypt, what they had to do was the children of Israel had to put the blood, they had to put the blood on the door, and then the plague would pass over them. And then it would go to the houses of the people who did not have the blood on the door. Once you are under the blood and protection of Jesus, right, this thing got to pass over you. And even if it does try to infect you, right, you begin to decree and declare that by his stripes I am healed. He was wounded for my transgressions. The chastisement of his peace was upon me, and by his stripes I am healed. Right? You take them scriptures and you write them down on healing. All you got to do is go to Google, all healing scriptures in the Bible. It's going to come right up. You can write them down, put it on your refrigerator. You start to feel fearful, and you begin to say it out loud. Decree it, declare it every single day. By doing this, you are canceling, you are cursing that spirit in the root. Because guess what? The virus is a spirit. It's not just, it's a spirit. It's a demonic spirit that's infecting people and it's causing panic in people. But the only spirit that I need is the Holy Spirit to infect me, to come upon me, to move in me, to live in me. Nothing else. And so you got to curse it, right? Write those scriptures, open book tests. You write the scriptures out on healing. You put it up on the wall. You put it on your refrigerator door, or you put it on your phone, however you can see it. And you say it over and over. You can even record yourself saying it and let it play in your ears repeatedly, over and over and over. Because out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So what's in your heart comes out of your mouth, right? But if you're constantly hearing the news with fear and this is the death total now, and this is what's happening, blah, blah, blah. Don't get me wrong. You got to know what's going on in the news so you don't run out to the store and all the stores are closed. Or you try to go to a restaurant, all the restaurants are closed and we're doing delivery. You got to know these things. But at the same time, I'm talking about the fear tactics. You got to see it coming. And you got to say, okay, they're doing what that virus is doing, what it's doing, but it can't come by my house. It can't come by me because the Lord lives in me. Right? And so I just want to encourage somebody out there. that this is what you have to do, right? To take these steps to move forward, right? During this time, right? Be on fire for God. Don't let the situation dim your light, right? Shine even brighter. This is your man, Mike Bowens. I'm signing off until next time, saying be blessed.